Bitcoin Jesus could be at the heart of crypto's latest scandal. Welcome to the Daily Forkast, June the 29th, 2022. I'm Joel Flynn of Forecast with the latest on what's happening on the blockchain. And at the center of it is accusations over a $47 million loan to CoinFLEX. It is apparently owed by one of the biggest names in Bitcoin. We've got details on that, plus legal action against Celsius and a whole lot more. So let's get you up to speed from Asia to the world.
Join thousands of NFT traders who already start their day on CryptoSlam.
Well, there's been another twist in the CoinFLEX tale. Bitcoin Jesus Roger Ver has denied defaulting on a $47 million loan with the exchange. Ver tweeted overnight that rumors over the debt were apparently false. He didn't name CoinFLEX specifically, but he did insist it was actually them who owed him money. Shortly after that tweet, CoinFLEX CEO Mark Lamb said Ver had been served with a default notice. He added that the two parties had had a long-standing relationship, and while Ver's accusation was unfortunate, CoinFLEX still hoped to be able to resolve the situation. CoinFLEX, of course, froze transactions last Friday. It cited uncertainty over a counterparty as well as extreme market conditions. Neither Lamb nor Ver have so far responded to Forecast's requests for comment as of the time of this recording. CoinFLEX is also a sponsor of Forecast. Meanwhile, legal action could be on the horizon for Celsius. The troubled crypto lender froze withdrawals earlier this month and is apparently at risk of insolvency. Speaking exclusively to Forecast, Ben Armstrong, better known as crypto educator Bitboy Crypto, says that investors are planning to fight back. Forecast Carolyn Wright has the details.
According to its website, Celsius managed over $11.8 billion in assets on May 17th. However, withdrawals and transfers were put on pause on June 13th, with the lender citing extreme market conditions as the reason. And now the big question is, will investors ever see their cash again? Bitboy Crypto certainly hopes so. Forecast's editor-in-chief Angie Lau sat down with the crypto influencer and investor Ben Armstrong, asking him if a class action lawsuit is in the cards.
What we've discovered is, class action is not going to be the route against Celsius. I've been in talks with my lawyers. There is an action coming on our behalf, along with some other investors. So we're right now trying to compile a list of some other plaintiffs that have 7 figures or more locked up in Celsius, and so they will be receiving some stuff from us probably pretty soon, but we're dead set on this.
It's not just the big investors he's hoping to help either.
I've also been in talks with attorneys about helping the people that have lower amounts on Celsius, ranging anywhere from a few $1,000s to 6 figures. And so I'm at that point. Once I get this side straightened out, what I'm doing, going to be helping those lawyers recruit people to do some other actions that can help them as well.
He says it's important to not stand by and let this kind of thing happen in crypto.
You look at what happened with Terra Luna. In some ways, it's a different situation because you really got one guy behind the whole thing, and it's not, they're not custodying your assets. Celsius has a much higher level of responsibility in this, as they were custodying our assets, and it's something that I trusted fully. A lot of other people trusted fully.
Armstrong says investors have been left questioning whether they can really trust any third-party staking platform. I'm Carolyn Wright. Forecast.
Now, investors may have been spooked by crypto lenders freezing withdrawals, but Wall Street seems to have spied an opportunity. Both Goldman Sachs and Morgan Creek Digital are trying to make deals despite critics' claims that the crypto bubble has already burst. So, why are they so keen? Forecast's Lachlan Keller has more.
Global crypto market capitalization has plunged almost 70% from last November's record high of just over $3 trillion. And that's set off a cascade of distress, with speculation that several high-flying crypto operations are verging on insolvency. However, big Wall Street players are moving in to take advantage of the crypto fire sale. Goldman Sachs is looking to raise $2 billion to buy distressed assets from Celsius, engaging interest from Web3 crypto funds to contribute. Meanwhile, asset manager Morgan Creek has attempted to raise $250 million to counter an offer from crypto exchange FTX to bail out BlockFi. One expert told Forecast,
what people are starting to see is opportunities there. Distressed assets will attract buyers. Quite simply, there's blood in the water. And when you've got blood in the water, the sharks start to circle.
Sycamore says both will likely hold on to the assets until we see some recovery in the crypto space, and that may take some time.
I don't think we'll start to see a rebound in prices until the Fed starts to pivot, and the Fed isn't going to start to pivot for the next 3 or 4 months. I think the fact that they are looking and scratching around suggests that they are taking a longer term bullish view of the market.
Andrew Sullivan of Asian Market Sense says that for Goldman Sachs, it's not just about seizing the opportunity buying distressed assets offer.
They're already seeing a lot of their clients involved in the crypto space. So being able to buy into an existing platform, whether it's profitable or not in the short term, doesn't really matter too much for them. They've got enough excess capital on their balance sheet probably to make this, they can say this is a long-term investment. It's not a short-term speculative play. It's going to be part of our core business in time.
While any firm moving in on distressed assets need to be mindful of the recent events like Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, and the collapse of Terra, Sullivan is optimistic about the impact these events could have on the industry.
There have been some great speculators out there that have been effectively going short or borrowing long and making some very bold bets without any real substantive backing behind it. I think the fact that it's happening in the crypto world now is probably a good thing, because it's alerted everybody to the risk that's out there. That these speculative firms will take advantage of the terms you offer them, and if you don't do proper controls, then you are going to lose money.
With crypto winter in full force, the industry will be watching to see what can be made of the situation. I'm Lachlan Keller, Forecast.
Meanwhile, the US says North Korea should face sanctions for crypto hacking. The US Treasury Department's Brian Nelson said North Korea's hacks have helped fund its weapons of mass destruction. The Undersecretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence was visiting South Korea on Tuesday. He told local media there that cooperation with Seoul on sanctions was being discussed. Ethereum sidechain Ronin, which Axie Infinity runs on, was hacked for over $620 million worth of crypto last March. The US has said Pyongyang was behind the hack, which of course was one of the largest DeFi heists in history. Meanwhile, Sky Mavis's Ronin bridge is finally back online after a 3-month network hiatus. The bridge is used by Axie Infinity players to transfer assets between Ronin and the Ethereum main chain. According to its newsletter, the Ronin bridge has been through 3 audits since the hack, and it is now increased security and a limit on suspicious withdrawals. You can find out more about the Ronin hack as well as all of our other top stories today at forecast.news. Make sure you head there. All right, let's return to HTC's metaverse phone. We mentioned it Monday. It is now available. The Desire 22 Pro is preloaded with apps from its Viverse arm. That apparently offers users what it calls a rich metaverse experience and without a VR headset. The Taiwanese firm said the phone allows users to create virtual avatars and manage crypto assets on both Ethereum and on Polygon, but it is currently only available in Taiwan, Japan, and Europe. All right, we're just a day away from one of the biggest crypto conversations of the year. Forecast's Crypto Rising livestream event is taking place tomorrow. Its focus is the future of stablecoins. Forecast's editor-in-chief Angie Lau will be joined by some of crypto's most influential figures. They'll be talking about the race against time that regulators are facing in the wake of the spectacular collapse of Terra Luna. Do not miss it. You can sign up at forecast.news and make sure you join us tomorrow, June the 30th at 9 p.m. Hong Kong time, 9 a.m. Eastern. There's also more details on all of today's stories and more on the website. Head to our Twitter as well for breaking news and updates on what we're talking about right now at forecast_news. That is it for today's Daily Forecast though. I'm Joel Flynn. I'll see you next time.